How long does it take to get to the moon? If you asked NASA in 1969, they'd say 3 days. If you ask them today, after spending $93 billion and 54 years thinking about it, the answer is 5. Yep, we are officially getting slower at space travel.
While you were probably falling for some April Fool's prank, 4 people actually strapped themselves to a 322-foot stick of controlled dynamite and vaulted off the planet. The Artemis II mission is officially live. It's the most historic flight of our generation, and yet they aren't even going to land. They're going all that way just to look out the window and turn around. But here's the real kicker. Only a few hours into the flight, the crew reported a glitch in the most important piece of technology on the ship. No, not the engines, the toilet. Stick around, because today we're breaking down the billionaire-funded 240,000-mile migraine, where the Wi-Fi is non-existent and the plumbing is provisional at best, the mystery of the lunar blackout, and why we're going back to the moon just to prove we still can. Let's talk about the ride. The Space Launch System, or SLS, NASA calls it the most powerful rocket ever built. Each launch costs roughly $4 billion. For that price, you'd expect a teleporter or at least a heated seat. Instead, the SLS uses refurbished engines from the 1970s Space Shuttle. It's essentially like taking the engine out of your grandpa's old El Camino, polishing it, and sticking it in a Ferrari. Those engines pushed the Orion capsule into what's called a high Earth orbit. They circled Earth like an Uber driver that couldn't find the entrance to your apartment complex. Why? Because they have to make sure the ship actually works before they commit to the 240,000-mile point of no return. Meet the crew. You've got Reid Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen. Now, this is genuinely cool. Victor Glover is officially the first person of color to leave Earth's orbit. Christina Koch is the first woman. It only took us half a century to realize that maybe the moon isn't a boys-only club. But think about the psychology here. They are the first humans in 52 years to leave low Earth orbit. Everyone else since 1972 has basically been hanging out in the Earth's backyard at the International Space Station. These 4 are heading into deep space. They are currently traveling at 25,000 miles per hour. That's fast enough to cross the entire United States in about 6 minutes. And yet, because the moon is so ridiculously far away, it still takes them 5 days to get there. Now, let's get to the potty problem. Literally hours after liftoff, mission specialist Christina Koch had to call mission control because the Universal Waste Management System, that's NASA for toilet, had a jammed fan. Imagine being trapped in a space the size of a large SUV with 3 other people doing 25,000 miles per hour and realizing you can't use the restroom for the next 10 days. That is a psychological thriller waiting to happen. Here's the part that gives me the chills. On Monday, April 6th, day 6 of the mission, the crew reaches the far side of the moon. They're 4,700 miles behind the lunar surface. At that exact moment, the moon acts as a giant 2,000-mile thick rock that blocks every single radio signal from Earth. No NASA, no Houston, no Wi-Fi, total silence. For those few hours, they are the loneliest humans in history. If that toilet fan jams again, or if a computer glitches, they are completely on their own. They have to rely on a free return trajectory, which is basically using the moon's gravity as a giant slingshot to whip them back toward Earth. If they miss that angle, they don't come back. So, how long does it take to get to the moon? 5 days of travel, but 54 years of waiting. We're finally back in the neighborhood. Artemis II isn't landing, but it's the vibe check for Artemis III, which is supposed to actually put boots on the ground in 2028. What do you think? Is this a historic leap for humanity, or a really expensive way to fix a toilet in orbit? Let me know in the comments if you'd take a 10-day trip to the moon if you knew you couldn't actually step outside. I'm Solana Vance, and thanks for watching the most expensive commute in the universe.